Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? I have Vic, I have Peter, I have Tony.
Yes, hi, Arish. Good morning. I can hear you. This is Vic.
Hi, Vic. Great to hear from you. Hi, Tony. I have Peter, Tony, Vic, and hopefully if more people will join, we'll see it later. Can you hear me good?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Give me like a moment and I will set up the screen and everything, and then we can start. Okay, I think I'm ready. So welcome again to this webinar. I have Vic, Peter, Tony, and if more people join, I'll admit them. The way we do this webinar is very interactive. So you can stop any time and you can ask questions. I also open a chat button. So this chat window is available to me. I can see your questions. If the question is more it need more explanation, then I will definitely you can explain the question, but feel free to interrupt at any point of time. Before we start, maybe it's good to create a context and background. So maybe it's good to introduce yourself, what you do, and that will help me to set the remaining of the section. So shall we start with Vic? Maybe just introduce yourself, what you do, what is your business, and what you're looking for today.
Yeah, sure. Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Vic Sharma. So I'm a digital marketer. I'm working with several startups right now, really building their digital presence.
Right.
And I'm looking for a tool to help with content writing. I also do consulting in the pharmaceutical industry. So anything that helps me speed up content writing is useful. So that's what attracted me to CrawlQ's. So I'd like to learn more about the product today.
Great to have you. Then we have Peter.
Yeah, hi everyone, Peter Brewster, and I would in this context consider myself as an entrepreneur and a mentor, and I do some writings myself, but actually why I'm here today is to evaluate this tool for a friend whom I mentored in to be a good digital marketer and who needs to be able to do maybe better market research while also writing a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm here today.
Great. Tony.
Yeah, hi guys. Yes, name's Tony. I'm from South Africa, and started my digital marketing journey about 2 years ago. Sort of starting to learn some courses, and have been doing some digital marketing for myself, my own businesses, and now about to sort of start an agency. And the one thing that I feel takes a lot of time and energy is content. So obviously the research, and then obviously content writing is something that I don't really have a lot of time if I want to have a few customers, So I'm just looking for something to speed up that process and do some research quickly, and get some content out quickly for my customers.
Okay, great. So I think very interestingly, we have a common ground: digital marketing and content creation, right? That's the common goal here. Three of you represent kind of one common theme. And the way I want to start here is cover some background, like why CrawlQ is different from rest of the tool. And then we jump in between to the tool, and you're just feel free to interrupt me at any point of time, right? That's the goal of this webinar, to get to know more the tool and how it can help you with your digital marketing journey. Okay, so let's first do first thing first is it's really important to understand why this buyer persona approach and the understanding of your target audience is really key to start any kind of business. Even if you're a starting agency, if you're looking for the clients, right, for your agency, clients, quality clients, B2B clients only come to you when you have a good content marketing team inside, right? Even if you have good coders, developer, funnel builders, but if you don't have a mechanism inside your agency, and you don't have like a mechanism and also the team and skills and talent, right, to create content, then it will be very difficult to find quality clients in agency space also. If you're yourself an entrepreneur and you're starting your startup, right, or you're helping other entrepreneurs to start their idea, again, it's important to start not with the keywords, topic, search volume, but really with the fundamental idea of who is your target audience, who is your Fred. And I call it Fred, and I will explain what is the meaning of the Fred. But the starting point, and everywhere you hear this, right, it's not the new idea. Every time you hear that you should start with your target audience, but there is no single framework in the market which is a unified, structured framework, how to start, where to start, how to use this data for content creation. That's also key, right? You can use AI, you can use LinkedIn data, you can use big data analytics, you can use predictive intelligence. But if there is no framework or connection between the content creation and your data, then still your data will be lying in PowerPoint presentations, a spreadsheet inside your agency, or the one that whatever you are using as an system to content management system. So that's the key. We really need to understand who is Fred, how we define our Fred, why we want to be super specific while we define our Fred, what tools we are going to use. And most of the time when we start with the CrawlQ, and it's not most of the time, but it's always that you start with one person, right? This single person is our Fred. This is the idea that we are focusing at one person at one time, and this is a key. This person is niche. This person has a lot of attributes. This is the person who is a real life person. He has emotions, dreams, desires, feelings. They have troubles, they have worried, they have suspicions, they have interest, they belongs to group, they have failures in their life. There is a lot of things going on around in their personal life, business life, and this is still one single person when we start with CrawlQ. And what we are doing when we start with market research in CrawlQ, we are going to fill this person vector, and this data that we fill in this person vector is going to be our research and data entry point to CrawlQ, and that will help us to create unique content, differentiated content. So we are not starting from a keyword tool, SEO topic, search volume, but really with one person that we know well, and this person can become representative image, and that's you call customer avatar, buyer persona. So this customer avatar, you can ask me what is the difference between this one person and the customer avatar. The thing is, we are trying to understand one real life person that we know already in our business network. And I think to make the life simple, this choice is quite fundamental, because most of the time when you hear about doing a buyer persona research, you are a bit carried away in terms of data collection, in terms of different approaches. But the fundamental approach that we can adapt here is to know one person that we can already talk very comfortably. We can take this person on a coffee date. If we can't take one person in our network and talk about our business and cannot take this person on a coffee date, then this is not our niche, right? This person that we wanted to take on coffee date, we should be comfortable with that, right? And I'm sure you're in this business, you're a digital marketer. I'm sure there is one person who you can take on a coffee date, and then you use CrawlQ basically to identify the conversation plugs or the homework that you will do before your coffee date. So this person, right, I'm talking is still one person, and this person is Fred. Fred has fears, Fred wants results, Fred has expectations, Fred has desire. I borrowed this acronym from famous copywriting book, Jim Edwards' Copywriting Secrets. Why do we need to define Fred? Because we want to know the words Fred is using, what's going on inside Fred's mind, what conversation plugs that we are going to use when we go on a coffee date with Fred. And we want to know what is going on in Fred's business life, personal life, maybe more than what he knows. That's a bit exaggeration, but that's what we want to achieve, right? And the secret code is, of course, the problem, questions, roadblock, results. We don't want to know private things that about Fred. We don't want to spy into the privacy aspect here. We don't want to know his date of birth, where he's going after evening road. No, we don't want that. We want problems, questions, roadblock, result that our Fred want to achieve. And we operate in a problem solution space, and we try to narrow down the Fred in a way that we also abstract and generalize the representative image of Fred, so that there are statistically significant number of Freds, and that's where your niche market is born, right? That's where there's a meeting point between your product and service, and then there are statistically significant number of Freds. You're not selling to only one Fred, but there are multiple Freds. But why we are able to get there as a customer avatar? Because we started with one person and we focus on a specific problem solution space. This problem solution space is this questions, roadblocks, results, suspicions, dream, desires. That's all data that we wanted to collect. This data start with defining the niche, defining semantics, demographics, psychographics, right? And then it goes a little bit into deeper, and there is no sort of the framework inside CrawlQ is very exhaustive, very deep, but you don't need to do it one time. Why? Because we wanted to take the Fred's journey into account. We don't want to understand Fred at one time, but we want to understand Fred over the period of time to understand his feedback also. So the approach that we take inside CrawlQ is not one-time approach, but an evolving approach, where you can understand the fresh journey, his buying decisions, and that's also I'm going to touch upon this. So let's go into a real example inside the tool. That's the next step. At this stage, do you have questions like what I just mentioned? Does it make sense?
Yeah, no questions. I guess does your tool, does it start with building the persona first?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Thanks.
No keyword, no search volume, no topic, just focus on one Fred. And that's what I'm going to show right now. When you start with Workspace, you can create a Workspace name. Each Workspace is a unique buyer persona. So if your agency, if you are talking to 10 different clients for on a project, on copywriting project or in a website project, you can create 10 different personas. It can be the case that you're an entrepreneur in a startup and you have 3 or 4 different customer segments, right? We call them segments. Segments can also be one of the buyer persona here, because sometimes they are closely aligned, but most of the advice that you will hear from most of the mentors who work with the startup, I think we can confirm this, it's great idea to start with one persona, one channel, one single big problem, one single big desire at one time, because you cannot create like 10 different funnels at one time, test them. It's kind of humanly impossible to run that kind of expensive campaign. You wanted to first validate with one claim, one persona. And if I'm sort of deviating from the topic here, but this is a fundamental I have learned from many of the mentors. So the use case can be anything, but when I say workspace, it's your one persona dedicated to one persona. You associate a domain name with this. It is not necessary. You can also put here https example.com. This is just to associate your buyer persona with a tangible project or a domain name, website domain name. So let me take example. We have several demo examples here, from 3D printing to ADSD pain points, artificial intelligence, B2B copywriting, budget travel to bellies, content automation. Now what you see, these are the business ideas, right? Now I'll pull up something that I was working since yesterday, one by persona, and maybe that is relevant for this group because you guys belong to digital marketing and you are aware of business to business copywriting, right? That's I'm sure will resonate with you guys. So when you start, the first point and the challenge that comes with CrawlQ is to come up with simple statements about this person, Fred, that you know, right? And you can also do some little bit extra research. I will come to that, how to do that. But the goal here is, if you know someone already in your network and you're comfortable on a coffee date and you wanted to have some questions sort of prepared right before the coffee date, just input those questions here. I will take this example, but the example that I got, and I'll tell you where I got this from. But I got like I started writing about this persona. So this niche for me is a strategic copywriting consultant who delivers clear, compelling, long-term, sustainable, and customer-focused, high-quality, high-converting lead generation and conversational copy. This is one single person. I know someone through my research that this person is a strategic copywriting consultant who claims himself that he delivers clear, compelling, long-term sustainable copy. Now, as a business, CrawlQ, my goal is to target copywriters. That's why I'm building this buyer persona, right? So let's be very clear that I am targeting a B2B copywriter for this content automation tool. And this is what I was working for myself as a buyer person. I took this example because I think this will resonate with you guys. So what I'm trying to do in the next step, I'm trying to narrow it down. When I say narrow it down, I'm still in the same problem solution space. I'm still thinking about the same person, but I'm saying that this sub niche is B2B professional copywriter who wants to become the most dynamic, influential, and much sought after copywriter globally. He wants to become the highly paid only option in the Silicon Valley. That's what his desire. That's what he wants. And this will come in the next step. Again, micro niche, right? I'm still narrowing it down with the same person, but I'm narrowing down in a problem solution space. So this person is a copywriting coach, teacher, professional who excel at their craft. He's already invited by Fortune 100 companies to transform their teams into effective copywriters. So he is an independent coach, teacher, professional. He's also building his own agency, right? He's aspiring to become only option on the Silicon Valley, right? That's what his desire. But the main struggle that he has, and maybe here I'm trying to connect with CrawlQ, is that he struggles with the operational aspect of performing his role due to his commitment, research time, and high demand that is required. Because if you are that sort of established copywriter, I am sure there are 100 requests you are receiving daily. There are clients chasing you, and you wanted to create a team, you wanted to create a scale into your business, but there is a difficulty because it's hard to research your customer, right? At any point of time, even if you are 20 plus years of experience in copywriting business, copywriting is not an art work or fiction work. It is work that connect the business problems or the customer's mind, right? The business has a customer, the audience, and their problems, solutions to your product's problem solution in a way which is in a language which first you need to understand what is this business is all about and what are the target audience. And then as a copywriter, you need to do a research that what's going on in their target audience brain, what language, voice these audience use, right? And when we are talking about B2B, it's really important to understand the business, because the difference between the B2B will be that B2B, you can have a very tangible metrics in terms of revenue, in terms of engagement, in terms of click. But in the B2C, it's of course these terms also, these metrics also there, but then you have some sort of branding impact is much more there, emotional impact, how your product fits. It can be jeans, it can be t-shirt, it can be shoes, and there are much more variety there to cover. But in both the cases, being as a copywriter, you need to understand that business, and you are sort of a connecting dot. So even if you have 20 plus years of experience, if you don't have a process, framework, structure, and the way how to use this information, you cannot scale your business. And that's the operational difficulty, even if you are the one of the most highly paid sought after copywriter on Silicon Valley. I think that's what I am thinking when I'm building this buyer persona, that how can I pitch to the most influential copywriters this tool, right? So, and there are multiple buyer persona. I can take many examples, but I just pulled it on here on the screen because I was working on it yesterday. Vertical is B2B high demand conversion copywriting, ideal prospect overview. I sort of removed the name, actual name. I put the second name different, but this is the actual person, Corey, and change his name. Tausenberg is a New York based professional copywriter. His body of work includes influential tech companies like Google, LinkedIn, Yelp, and legendary advertising agencies like BBDO, Saatchi and Wunderman. He is a master of conversational copywriting for Silicon Valley, delivering compelling, seamless one-on-one messaging to power every prospect experience. Core's personal copywriting success is unmatched by his but his problem. Okay, we need to focus on the problem solution space. So his problem is that he can't scale his system to bring others into the community. Yes, he's is a kind of high demand freelancer, but Corey has professional desire for a solution that will enable him to scale his copywriting business. So even though this is a masterpiece copywriter, much sought after copywriter on the Silicon Valley, still he need a system to scale his business. Now the question is how I come to this, right? That's the most burning question that you might be asking me, right? Now the way I did is like I go to LinkedIn and I studied like 10 different top influencer copywriters, and I found one of them, Corey Tausenberg. He has a lot of this description in his about buyer person. I'm connected with him also. So in actual sense, of course, I cannot go on a coffee date from Amsterdam to New York with this person. But I understand if I'll pick up a call next week to this person, I have the sufficient conversation plugs to keep him engaged during my discussion, even if I do a demo call, right? Now this is the way you can take many different routes here to come to here. But the first thing that you just start with the rough idea. I started actually very rough idea about this person. I saved this and I generate these insights, and these insights, which are also again generated using using the copywriting formulas behind the scene gives me golden sort of nuggets that I can improve my input here by this. So for example, niche, when I say generate insights, it take my input, and my input initially were rough. I got new insights. I again save them. I can generate more insights. So here you can see Niche is an expert at creating high converting lead generation copy for businesses. This Niche is describing himself like in this language. I can help you to get more clients today by turning your website visitors into leads and then closing them through irresistible offers. He can transform average web content into compelling copy that requires minimal amount of reading while delivering a strong message to the reader that compels them to take immediate actions. Now, this text do not come from LinkedIn, not from Google, but it's a pure play of artificial intelligence, AI language models. Because what's happening here, you provide some initial guesswork. AI steer on this, take this as a seed idea. And then because behind the scene, there are some smart instructions like, hey, what is the definition of niche? Niche is a specific group of people in a specific situation with a specific problem and a specific desire. Okay, there's some example that how you should define niche. What is the objective of market research? It allows you to focus on one niche at one time. So think these instructions to users, but also to artificial intelligence, AI language model, to narrow down the choices of the words that comes as an output, right? In that sense. So it's kind of copywriting instructions, formulas in the background that turn that language model, or that steer that language model, or that sort of trigger that language model to create output in a very compelling way, keeping in view the user's input and these instructions, right? And these insights can help you to further improve this. Sometimes it really depends on how you provide the input. If the inputs are narrative, I'm sure it's not first time you're hearing about this buyer persona research, and there are funnel script or also is like scripts there are there in the market, but they still focus on very high level things. They will say, okay, make money or get more clicks and engagement. That's it. If you are looking for B2B copywriting solution problems, right? In order to go more deeper, you need to really understand one person well, and then extrapolate this person, abstract this person, generalize this person in a sense that there are statistically significant number of core, significant number of threads, right? That's where your market is born. And these insights is exactly doing that, because I'm here not looking into the LinkedIn data company or the employees or the demographic at this stage. I'm just looking into the problem solution space, narrowing it down with one person, taking the use of AI to give me more insights, and then I'm optimizing this. This is one step. And there are then demographics. So demographics, of course, website name is CrawlQ.ai, company name is CrawlQ. I'm targeting copywriters. Corey Rosenberg was the actual name of the person. You can look him on the LinkedIn. You'll find it if you wanted to check. Corey Rosenberg is a copywriter in New York-based copywriter. So I need to change his name here, otherwise it will be as a demo workspace here. My role, CrawlQ, founder, CEO. I'm targeting 41-year-old male, New York. This occupation is copywriting coach, teacher, professional. The thing now here is interesting. What is happening here? I only need to provide these two inputs now, okay? And then I say fill with AI. The rest of the information is now structured and automatically filled in here by this option. So that's how the process of this research become easier. At initial stage, when people just look this, it seems overwhelming because there are lots of questions. People think, oh my God, how I'm supposed to know the answers of this question, how I'm going to start. But no, it's just, if you think in a very simple terms, if you know one person, if you can describe this person, you can use these tools here, AI insights, right? You can come back here again. But this framework will really help you to start from one person and generalize this person and create a statistically significant number of person, because this approach is bottom up approach. Most of the buyer persona approach in the market out there is top down approach. It says you start with your big market and then geography, and then there's 2 and 5 million people who can be your target audience, then narrow it down to 2500 by using this and that filter. No, we are saying start with one person that you know well, because the key is to find that sweet spot between yourself and your buyer persona, and that sweet spot exists between your own skills, talent, right, and with your buyer persona. At first time when you're doing this conversation, if you don't have this sweet spot, right, you can't make a connection with this person. And that's very important that you start with someone who you know already in your business and network, because then finding that sweet spot will be very easy. And once you establish that sweet spot, you will be able to iterate over it. You will be able to generalize it. You will be able to make it in a way which become like a perfect ideal customer avatar. And it's not that you who can decide this, that what is your perfect ideal customer avatar. So that's why here you have only 3 or 5 categories. And this is, if you know the 80-20 rule, by having this, you are already covering like 80% of your problem solution space. When you covered 80%, you're ready to spin up some content. This content can be a blog post, social media post, and the only person who can validate that this is resonating is spread, not Google Analytics, not the search volumes, not the sort of website analysis that you do, how many people are clicking on this page, that page. No, only person who can validate if your message is resonating is Fred. And here is an opportunity with us that we can ask questions to Fred and refine our understanding about Fred, and we can feed back this into the system, again generate new insights. So it's not one time exercise. If you are building your agency, if you are serving your customer long time, then it's a unique opportunity, because then you can create a system to continuously evolve that buyer persona. And that's quite a tangible benefit, because once you start understanding buyer persona, you need to map it to the different buying decisions, right? um, Again, the process is simple. You come up with now with the 2 inputs. You say fill with AI, you generate insights, and these insights can definitely help you to get it more better. Now, role maker, decision role, this is all sort of quite detailed. So for example, here when I generate insights, you say decision maker. So decision maker, as a strategic copywriter, he specializes in drawing the connection between what's the business want and what their customer needs. That's what I was saying, right? Being a copywriter, you need to specialize. Even if you have 20 years of experience, you still need to do the research to draw the connection between what the business wants and what their customer need. And Corey is a conversion copywriter, with his main focus being able to sell physical products to individuals who are located in US. Corey's role as a decision maker for his company, blah blah blah. Corey is responsible for drawing the connection, blah blah blah. You see, he's struggling to find other words that can be suitable for a strategic copywriter. Sometimes, of course, these insights can be a bit more annoying, because you don't see sometime pattern. Sometime things are sort of golden things are inside these lines that you can pick up. Of course, this is evolving, improving as we learn how to make more connection between the user's input, language model, and additional data that we are trying to incorporate here about search intent or Google. But these insights are continuously being tested, evolved, and the benefit of this is that it can help you to further improve your buyer persona research. It helps you to generalize it. It helps you to abstract it. It helps you to create a statistically significant number of threads. Now, next one is the semantics. So in the semantics, we are saying main topic of interest. how to find B2B copywriting clients. This is main topic of interest. Long tail topic, what is B2B copywriting? Now you can ask me, hey, stop. How do you get this main topic of interest? Because this is something is quite hard, right? What exactly we are trying to achieve here? So I want to take a side step here. This is not only the way to do market research here. There are many different tools also. So if you are new to the topic of B2B copywriting, you can start here, say B2B copywriting. When you say B2B copywriting, the first thing you can do is unlock insights. Again, you will notice that these insights, right, they are again forcing you not to think in terms of keywords, topics, search volume, SEO meta tags, descriptions, but in terms of target audience. What idea would my target audience have about B2B copywriting? What benefits would my target audience have about B2B copywriting? What suspicion would my target audience would have about B2B copywriting? What mistakes would my target audience incur about B2B copywriting? What questions would my target audience have about B2B copywriting? So it's a deliberate attempt and a framework to force you to think in terms of target audience and not in terms of this keyword search volume. This is, I'm kind of myself feel like crazy when I repeat it, but I really wanted to make sure that you understand that we are really focusing here on the target audience, and this is deliberate attempt to force you to think in that terms. And for many people, this doesn't go so well because they're so brain wired to think in terms of keywords, topics, that they forget the real thread. We have lost the real thread in the way we create content. And I'm a bit emotional here, but this is the fact. This approach will help you to go deeper into the questions and not just think about topics in the search volume. And I'll come back to that also. I'm not ignoring that part completely. So more trust for their colleagues. These are the ideas, like more opportunities for employers, more control for their life, much better opportunities in the community, brand new awareness around a certain concern. That's how my target audience will think when they are writing about B2B copywriting as a topic. It can be anything. This topic can be 3D printing when we are working on a separate buyer persona, right? It just plug in this topic, frame these questions, and help you to deep dive into it. So here comes the interesting questions. What is B2B copywriting? What are the benefits of B2B copywriting? How much is this B2B copywriting maybe cost? Something missed here. Where can I buy this B2B copywriting? Who are the makers of B2B copywriting? Is this B2B copywriting safe to use? What are the side effects of B2B copywriting? Now, if you're into the health or industry, then it looks like B2B copywriting is a medicine here. But you see the framework. Targets, I might select from industry associations, bloggers. I would not know what is this KOLs calls, minor industry conferences. So these are the suspicions that my target audience would have about B2B copywriting.
Okay, KOL is short for key opinion leaders.
Key opinion leaders. Thank you for that. Key opinion leaders. Great. What mistakes my target audience would have? What are the main buying objections? So it's giving you also questions, not only answers, but taking one questions and then creating more questions. So it really helps you to think like, what are the issues, desires, frustration, limitation, hurdle, fear, blocks, problems, barrier, obstacles that while you consider your target audience. Now, with this information, of course, it's too much, right? So you just wanted to glance over it as you wanted to take it at one thing at one time. But here you can go to actual search pages also. So B2B copywriting suspicion. So suppose if you're completely new to your business idea, and I call it deliberately business idea because I don't want to mix the term niche, because niche I'm using for the thread, one person. I'm using the term niche for real life person, not for the business idea. So when we use CrawlQ, business idea is B2B copywriting, niche is Corey Dausenberg. I changed his name from Rosenberg to Dausenberg. But you see, the main thing is this is business idea, and you can see a framework here where you can go to copywriting benefits, copywriting websites, copywriting desire. If you are new to this, of course, you can spend hours here, like social media research. You can go to Facebook group, Twitter. That's how I came to this person profile. I went to LinkedIn and then I found this person there, and I took that bio from there. That's how I did research for myself, and luckily I was also in the first connection with this person. In another research which I did was on 3D printing. I used the Twitter bio of one person, Chris, who also I know, by the way. So I would always choose someone who is in my network, and I can at least ask for a coffee date, so that I have my conversation plugs ready when I go for this coffee date. You can perform video searches here. So same topic, where you can go deeper as you want. News sites, Medium, Bing, Yahoo, podcast directories. Listen Note, if you don't know, is one of the search engine for all the podcasts out there. Questions, information database, Quora, WikiHow. You can go with this research as deep as possible. I won't suggest at the initial stages, because you are still framing your idea about your thread. If you're already quite deep into the business, then maybe some of these steps are redundant, because you can directly think about this thread and you can write some initial ideas, and then you can use AI to get more structure around this, right? Then I want to show quickly, when I was doing this cement, like I was trying to find the main topic or people, like what kind of search people might be doing when they are thinking about B2B copywriting. So let's try to see that. So here comes the trending topic: B2B copywriting examples, courses, niches, meaning, job, books, tips, services, agency, blah, blah, blah. These are all the trending topics that are currently people are asking in the Google. But here is also a graph which helps me to understand what kind of questions people are asking, and what stands out to me if I want to target CrawlQ to copywriters: how to find B2B copywriting clients. This was my main sort of takeaway. How to find copywriting clients, how to get copywriting clients. This is what these people, copywriters, are asking, I think, in the search engine. This is something that I thought maybe, it's the most compelling question. This is my main topic of interest. If I wanted to pitch CrawlQ as a tool to the copywriter, and if these are my buyer persona who are already as established copywriter in Silicon Valley, only their problem is they can't scale their business, or they can't meet the demand where they're getting 100 requests daily. But still, the problem is they might be still trying to figure out how to get the most important B2B copywriting clients, because all the requests that are coming to them, right, might not be the best one, and they want to get highly paid. So still, I think this is relevant, like how to get B2B copywriting clients. That's what I think at this stage. I might change also this, but this is what it struck me when I look these questions that people are asking in the search about this keyword comparison, B2B versus B2C copywriting. This only, it came here. If I just change this only to copywriting, I might see a lot of questions that might come. So let's go to the question graph again. Can copywriting make you rich? Can copywriting be learned? Can copywriting be a noun? So you see there are a lot of questions. Can anyone learn copywriting? So the people are asking questions like, can copywriting can be taught, can be learned, something like that. These questions are different types of which, what, what copywriting entails, what is copywriting, what copywriters do, what copywriting is actually is, right? So you see, you can mix also the search questions. I see a hand, Tony. Please go ahead.
Yeah, is this similar to Answer the Public?
It's
The data
similar.
that it gets?
It's to what extent similar, I won't be able to make a conclusion, because I don't know if Answer the Public pull a data from the database or on the fly. What I can confirm here is whatever you see on the screen is generated on the fly. So only the question modifiers, what is trending in the search, combine this together, use NLP and create real questions, which are just coming directly from the Google search. Right now, when I click this, I don't have a database there which generate this. Is on the fly. On the fly means right now when I type it, something happens in the background, take all the trending topics which are on this and then convert them into questions. You see the difference? I would not know if Answer the Public do exactly same thing.
Just
Yeah,
on
okay,
that,
so no,
oh,
so so I just want to know, it's taking actual data from Google search and combining it with some NLP and
Yes.
creating the questions. Okay.
Yes, on the fly in the sense, right, like it is hitting right now when I type. It's not collected database of keyword search volume. It's just what people are searching right now.
Yeah,
Based
is that
on,
also related to like Google Trends? Like,
yeah,
yeah. So so you can actually pick up on trends, because that's also important for digital marketing. Is the timing? You want to pick up on a trend and ride the wave if you can.
yeah,
find it. Yeah.
indeed. And then it just going into bit like extra exaggeration that you're trying to combine different keywords with these modifiers, but the things that are coming is directly from the search, like what people are searching. And this is a long list actually. So this list combined with the question modifier, you get here in this graph as well. So you see it's a lot of data here, which is coming from the trending topics. Right, so I hope I answered your question. And then I will come back to that part of the customer journey, Fred's journey. But when Fred is unaware of the problem solution, that there is a B2B copywriting and B2B copywriting can help him to achieve the goals, then you're top of the funnel. So you're targeting topic like what is copywriting? How does copywriting work? How do I use copywriting? So being as a digital marketer, you can start from day one having a strategy in your mind that, hey, at this stage, I wanted to purely focus for my client on top of the funnel. Once I have evolved my project and I have more data with me, I will develop more middle of the funnel and then later stage on the bottom of the funnel. So how it helps me to run my agency is that I can structure the project timeline with my clients. I can ask them initial questions and I can help them not to wait for the full website, but I can deliver them a 20% website with some initial content idea, blogs, and optimized that they can start already using a landing page, a minimalistic blog, which really address a specific buyer persona. So this helps me if you see, if I'm really talking about agency point of view, this approach, because it's not like one short delivery, it's a multiple delivery that you can arrange with the client when you're running an agency. I want to come back to where I was. So here then I have the niche, and I have this semantics, and I say, okay, how to find B2B copywriting clients. What is B2B copywriting? And I put only these two, and then I fill with AI, and then it suggested me other topics. What are the benefits of B2B copywriting? Can B2B copywriting, conversion copywriting be taught? What are the action steps I must take to achieve success in B2B copywriting? How to know if my client is making progress with my B2B copy? Headline. Again, this headline is not I have put here, but is based on the copywriting instructions behind the scene. So what should be headline? a headline should have three components. For example, minimum, current state, future state, time frame. So time component, before state, after state, and the mechanism. So these instructions, of course, provide some help to user, but also to AI to structure the already provided seed information in the form of headline. And not always it works exactly like that, because we also want to have the creativity from AI, right? So we don't ask AI to exactly give us in the same structure, but understand at least that structure. And so the headline here was how to become renowned copywriters who deliver high quality, high converting B2B content to their clients quickly. And this headline was not initially like this. I borrowed it from one of the insights that was generated like this. Let me go there. I think that it was somewhere here in the insights. Maybe I regenerated them, but I remember that it was not like this. I picked up something from one of these. So there's not here, not here. I might have regenerated because I'm working on this project. But you see this.
I did see it there. Sorry, I did see it. It's further down.
Yeah, how to become renowned copywriters who deliver high quality. Sorry. So these were three components I realized in this headline, and that's why I picked up was like quickly, right? So time component was there, quality was there, and this word renowned copywriters. So that's why I picked up that, and then there were some suggestions which I had this some modification. How to become much sought after, highly paid, only one option for B2B copywriting for Silicon Valley in 10 days. I think I added this 10 days and this problem part. Scale your system to find more B2B copywriting clients using AI powered market research. This is what is my own addition to this, my own value addition to what came from AI. And this is where you have to take some things here with a pinch of salt. You need to put your ideas also in it. And once you save it, this becomes data entry point for content creation. Niche subheadline, how to become a top-notch coach, teacher, and professional B2B copywriter who excels at their craft. I didn't change any word of it. It was suggested as it is. Now I want to do one thing with you together. I'm sure already took a lot of time, and I have I have not touched upon the how content part here, right? Sorry about that. It took a bit longer, but if you come with a one statement here, right? Think about something that most people know about B2B copywriting, but the truth is opposite of X. But truth is opposite of this. It's a kind of shocking statement. Would you like to try? Any one of you, Vicky, Peter, Tony? What do you think that is everyone believes for B2B copywriting, but the truth is opposite of this that everyone believe? Would you have some idea? Yeah.
I think for me, people assume copywriting is easy and quick to do.
Did you know that B2B copywriting is quick and easy? This is what people believe, right? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So I should say most people think that B2B copywriting is quick and easy to learn, something like that. But the hard part is to create a message that resonates with your target audience, right?
Yes.
But the hardest thing to achieve is the compelling and resonating message that generate clicks, sales, clicks, demo, and sales. Let's go with this. And one item that you think can be a big emotional payoff for Fred, in this case, this guy, Rosenberg, this Corey, doesn't work that I said the name. What will be the big emotional payoff when he start using this approach? What can he live a life?
I think more clients in half the time, something like that.
Emotional payoff will be more that he will be able to relax, more spend time, or on some habits that he is developing.
Yes.
So he can
free up personal time,
spend more time
with family and
spend more time on vacation, wife and kids. This is very general though, emotional payoff, but each person has very quite a specific emotional payoff, and we have to be very, very specific here when we are doing this, and that's the beauty of the system. But if you see most of the courses, they will have this very general thing, like time spent on vacation with wife and kids. It's become a kind of common emotional payoff. So desire, I want to be a top-notch coach, teacher, and professional B2B copywriter who excel at their craft. Now you can think that this is coming from our seed keyword, but seed inputs, but it is structuring them in a way which become useful. Big ideal prospect person that you want to become. Most people think that B2B copywriting is quick, easy, but I think it comes from here, this statement. I don't know if this is structured quite well, but let's try other problem. The copywriter struggle to balance his professional and personal life due to the lack of a scalable system where he can deliver high demand copywriting service to more prospects. This makes sense. Agitation, B2B copywriting is hard to learn and hard to do because the demand for it is high. Agitation, it has some repeat from our input. Question, how to become much sought after, highly paid, and only one option for B2B copywriting for Silicon Valley in 10 days and scale your system. This is question. Result, Corey Duesenberg, the world's leading copywriter on conversion copywriting, has created a system that will allow you to spend more time with your family and make more money at the same time. Roadblock, lack of time, of course. Pain, I have been a top performing copywriter for 15 years. Can't find a way to transform my skills. So I can stop freelancing and go full time. This is pain as per this statement. Adjective, secret, the well-crafted message is a secret. Mistake, failure to create a self-sustaining system that can scale. That is a mistake that happened with him. Feature, his feature is like he wanted to, this is one most important feature of his services. Benefit, learn from the best of the best and have a rich legacy of professionally crafted copywriting. Cool. So you see, there's a lot of things here. Main call to action, how to become a top-notch coach, teacher, and professional B2B copywriter who excels at their craft. So this information was suggested by AI. Now I save this and I can generate more insights around it. And I'm not going to spend time on that because we can have another 1 hour on this. But you might have noticed already how deep we are going with the buyer persona only in the initial stages. And this is only 5% research. Now, the thing is not that you don't have to do this. That's what I'm trying to tell from last 2-3 months to many people, that the system is designed in a way that you need to evolve it over a period of time. And I think we should do something in this design, and we are working on it. So everything is locked until you spend your time here. Some people start jumping already into next steps, and then they get mixed up things, right? So here, products, emotion, hook, your association map, what kind of before state, before using your solution, and so on and so forth. Books they read, tools they use, blogs they use. It's not only a buyer persona research, but it's identifying your market. When I say market, so in the business, right, you have things like you have your niche, you have your transformation mechanism. So how you are going to transform your niche from their current state to desired state, and the price that your niche is willing to pay. So here we are trying to find out not only niche, but your market, whole market. Market is niche, transformation mechanism, and the price that niche is willing to pay for the services that you offer. So that's why what current environments trend impact this niche, what are different activities, promise, options, your case studies are important, your testimonials, team, core concept, your FAQs, and vision, and your founding story about the company, the product. They all come together to determine a market, a content strategy that you can use over a period of time. And that's where this stands out, this market research, because here what you're going to do is you're really going deeper into the process itself. So we have covered all this, like while semantics are important, um, why you should focus on demographics before you diving into psychographics. Being marketer, you know, all these locations, experience level, company size, traffic channels are important. Psychographics, we already covered, like these different items that are important. Now, the focus here is when you create your market research, most of the time, and most of the framework only enables you to create top of the funnel thing. But here, what we are trying to understand, identify the Fred's stage, when he's unaware to aware, when he's moving from aware to interested stage, when he's interested in evaluating your solution, and he's finally trying to, put his credit card details and the 3 digits of his code on the credit card and is buying, right? So these are the different stages, and there are different aspects. So triggers, for example, in the initial stage, you have high emotional triggers, but when he is making purchase, there is a low emotion but high rational. Different types of content, blog post, infographic, short video will help you in the initial stages. And that's what I was saying when I was doing market research. I want to just cover these 4 categories. Define your niche, semantics, demographics, psychographics, and I wanted to quickly create some blog post, infographic, short videos, and then I wanted to validate this message with Fred, if this makes sense with Fred or not. Then I can come to the next stage of my buyer persona research, keep some feedback which I get from Fred, and then start on ebooks, white papers, diagnostic tools, webinar, sales letter, and I can go into case studies, testimonials. So if you wanted to structure your client's project, it makes sense to structure in the phases and then evolve this buyer persona over a period of time, asking your client to get real feedback from the customer, get testimonials, get case studies, and incorporate this here in the market research and keep evolving this. And this is, I think, the key difference between most of the tool out there. Now, once you do this, you can train the internal AI, and that's Athena, we call it internally. So you go to dashboard. You can also click one URL here. So for example, I was researching on kind of step-by-step actions for a course that you wanted to take on B2B copywriting. So I take this URL, I add here, and I train. When I say power up Athena, what exactly it means is I have already collected some basic marketing and sales argument, emotional side of it, demographics. Now I wanted to inject some facts, numbers, figures, scientific evidence, or anything that is more rational than just emotional. And that's what exactly I'm trying to do here. Like when I move, I'm in the initial stage, I'm doing mass personalization. So that's what we did, mass personalization. And we wanted to inject some data-driven intelligence derived from other external sources. So this can be one of the top blog or a 100-page authoritative reference on B2B copywriting, or facts, figures, numbers, scientific evidence, anything that is based on your product or service. So I'm trying to inject with this train Athena thing. And then as we move, we can inject more and more hyper personalized content and train Athena on this. So I don't show a message. Let me redo it. But I think that happened already, but it doesn't matter. I can include this one URL, train it again. what I'm exactly doing and what is Athena in simple terms. Athena is just like an assistant, AI assistant, just sitting beside you. And when you're creating content, you're asking this Athena assistant, hey, on the 3 days back, I created this content. I wrote in the line 3 4 this thing. Give me this. Hey, this is the file there which has a single big problem. Can you fetch me this? Hey, this is the file there. We wrote like 3 big mistakes our Fred will make. Can you give me this? And this is actually, you can experiment here. When you come to CrawlQ search, you can just type in here single big problem, and this is expected to perform your internal search engine like a Google. So what we did, we created a search engine inside CrawlQ, especially designed for you, for your workspace. It's not mixed up with any other workspace. If you have 10 different buyer persona, it is only referring to your workspace. And single big problem, the copywriter struggles to balance his professional personal life. This came from directly from our market research. You can also frame it a little bit differently. So what is the big road block? And can be bigger question also, but what I'm trying to or what point I'm trying to make is this thing that we are seeing here will exactly be used for the content creation as a layer, communication layer, right? Whenever we create content, we are going to fetch a context, a concept like this, and that will be part of the prompts to talk to language model. And then what comes back will be very super specific, because we are always in the context of our content, and this makes the key difference with the rest of the tool, because every time there you need to come up with problem solution statement whenever you create a content. They are more generic content creation. Here the content creation is specific to the thread on which we have done our research. Now I haven't content creation on this blog, so I need to pull another workspace for this because I was working on this yesterday. But let me I'm not sure if how much time you guys have, like, but let me pull up something which is already there, so fasten the process. Or let's create something which we can directly from here. So main topic of interest, how to get more B2B clients more quickly. Let's try to come up with something. And to create a blog article describing step-by-step process to use step-by-step process to use AI. And let's connect with the thing that we are trying to achieve, AI and content automation to scale my copywriting business. Copywriting. We keep it yes. Then what is your main topic? Is B2B copywriting. Let's keep it like that. And which topic do you categorize? Let's say copywriting. I'm trying to be short here, but I can finish this in time. Problems helps in understanding how to scale my copywriting agency. Call to action: subscribe to CrawlQ blog. Sorry, I think I could have done more better job, but I need to finish this in time and want to show you the power of content, like how to create content with this. So it will come up with some initial outline, introduction, what is AI and content automation, process of content automation, and last thoughts. So still it's very at high level. So if I wanted to pitch CrawlQ solution to this copywriter, right? What this suggests me that I should come up with a blog explaining him what is AI and content automation? How does it work? And I should provide more and more introduction. Now, this is kind of a bare minimum skeleton, right? There are many tools here to expand on this thought. So I'll just directly jump on these. So you generate a headline and intro. So I go here, introduction. How to create blog articles describing step-by-step process to use AI. So let's say this is my intro. I make this as my first H1 tag or H2 tag sub-headline. And here, what comes here is, we are expert in developing B2B sales content that helps you to sell more. We have developed hundreds of pieces of B2B sales content for our clients, including case studies, white paper, blah, blah, blah. Imagine, I mean, it's close to what I'm trying to achieve with this content to start targeting this person, right? We have written for Fortune companies, blah, blah, blah. So you see, things are not completely random here. They're coming directly here. Now I have this approach. I can also go to all the competitors' content, right? I can research my content. So in order to research, how it is different from rest of the tool is that it allows you to convert your competitors' content into questions. And these questions, you can get answer not using your competitor content, but the concept that you can draw from the market research that we have done. So what are the B2B sales lead? What is one of the most important criteria to do this? How much? So sometimes the questions is close-ended or open-ended. It depends. If I don't like it, I can generate again. And this approach can help you to come up with research, right? Most important questions that your competitors are covering on this topic. You can anytime change the query also, and you can regenerate this. You can if you are just lazy, you can get more and more intro headline. You can start fitting it here, but I'll tell you in a moment, there are more tools. So this is, I think that was much better, how to use AI content automation to scale my copywriting business. I can start next on this. Make this as my second headline. Take this content here. You see now how I'm trying to develop the blog. It's not like push button blog, to be honest. It's more based on what research we have done. All the research that we have done is also in front of our eyes here. Anytime we can refer back. Also, anytime I can also have my own instructions to AI. I will show you how. So I can say single big problem. Okay, that's where I wanted to do this thing or expand here right now, write something about it. And I can say, write me Athena. So train me Athena was we trained earlier. Write me Athena, we are trying to get, right? We are trying to get the research and expand on it. When I say single big problem, as a copywriter, you can't scale your business to meet the demand. And this should be very close, not exactly the copy, but should be close. Copywriter struggles to balance his professional or personal life due to this blah, blah, blah. But this is, like you can see, it's very close. And now I can expand on it. So I can also select any part of the text and I can expand on it. So here I can develop my own opinion, thoughts, figures. I can take the help of these different tools. So there is a tool like I just showed you how to convert into question answer your competitors' content. There's a lot of content here, right? You can convert them, but you will convert only those which match to your content objective. So you can research all these competitor content, convert them into questions, and you can, even if you are lazy, you can also develop your content structure based on their headlines. You can drag the like copy this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can develop. Now there's another way to do this. So this way is here there are a lot of templates how to achieve this. So we go to doc. how to blog post, infographic blog post, list blog post, news-based blog post. It depends on what stage of market research you are. Some you can achieve only 5% of the research. That's what we are going to do. We are going to plug this one of these template. Peter says need to step out, but they got a good and clear idea about the capabilities. Okay, Peter, you can follow up. And right now, we're also having lifetime deal, which also you can find on our website. But we'll follow up on that. And also I'll share this recording with you guys. So what I'm doing here, I have a template, and I can copy this template and add this template there. Okay. And this template will help me to create the content. So then I'm not kind of a random person trying to achieve something. If I'm new to blog writing, I will use this template. I'll just say, okay, tips and reminders for my main topic of interest. This is still under testing. Sometimes it gives me some weird result, but this is almost like good 80%. Tips and reminder for create a blog article describing step by step to use AI and content automation skill, my copywriting skills, examples, outline for the same, what an amazing headline should look like. So these are the things that I can talk about. How to single feature. I just need to select this, write me Athena. Single big feature, select this, write me Athena. So whatever in the template you see highlighted in the blue color, you can just select, say write me Athena is going to write for you. And this is a structure of a blog, like good structure of the blog adopted, right? From the performing sort of structures of the blog. You can see it covers results, main call to action. It depends which type of blog you're writing. You might have heard as a marketer about pillar post, right? This is a popular concept from HubSpot, pillar and cluster post. So in this, how to write a pillar post. So you start with your niche headline, the main headline, in-depth headline is authority blog, your niche headline, niche subheadline. You put some introductions. You say you cover your business dreams, desires, problems, history of the main topic. So history of the B2B copywriting, how to get clients, B2B copywriting clients, expand that long tail topic, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Pros and cons of the main topic, right? Pros, cons, top 3 single big benefits, features. So if you follow this structure, you will come up with a very good idea of the blog. And every time that you're saying, hey, write me Athena, is referring to your research that you have done here. It's not going out of the context. So you make sure that AI is not going random with this approach. So this is only the part here. Every kind of article, blog, you can write here. You can even answers investors question when you have done 100% market research. So because I say it's not only niche research, it's everything about your business and content strategy, right? So this is still under testing, but most of the time you will get quite good answers on these questions. How will you make money? This is investors asking question. How you are going to monetize. It's very useful in the context of startups, when you're helping startups, because if you are able to achieve 100% questions, 100% market research, you can really help startups to create their pitch for the investment, because every aspect of this problem we have covered in the market research. Make your buyer persona, discovery call, LinkedIn call prospecting, how to simulate a discovery call, long form, short form, sales letter. This is kind of one area, but you can also venture into another area, which is sort of again helpful to learn the system, more copywriting, and that part was here. So we only have covered the AI copywriter, but there's a sales copywriting part also. You can choose here the sales letter, the different types of sales letter, the long and short sales letter, based on some popular copywriters formula, Dan Kennedy, Ray Edwards. You can also choose emails, like what kind of emails, sequences. You can develop email sequences. So and the thing here and why it is different from rest of the template, these are based on some question answer. So there are some questions and then answers. And then when you again train Athena, you also train on this question answer. So what we are doing in the thing is, more we use the tool, more we create concepts, argument on which we train Athena and can draw the context later on in another content creation, right? So more content you create here, more questions you get answered. Again, you train Athena, more better our content will become later. So at this stage, I really wanted to stop because I'm very happy to take your questions, comments, and what that thing that stands out so far from what you have seen other copywriting aspects or tool. There are also many resources here. How to continue on this market research. There are tutorials, videos, demo workspaces. When you go to the inside of the tool, there are again the different tutorials to set up your market research. Some copywriting ideas are discussed here. Onboarding, why we come to this tool or idea of the tool, also was a frustration because my background is more on the product development side, and every time my boss expect me to create a product which is useful for customers and stakeholders, but as a product owner, I have never access to the customer feedback. It was only sales and marketing people who can give me that access. But that's why the product engineers, they miss the essential feedback loop to develop useful products. And using this tool, also startup entrepreneurs, because most of the time they are product design engineers, tech oriented background, they can use also this framework to get essential feedback from the market, and from the day one develop product which is validated based on customer feedback.
Yeah, it's a very powerful platform, Harish, what you're describing. I think there's a learning curve, of course. So what's a typical learning curve? Can you talk about that?
It really depends on your background. I know that people who come from SEO and keyword research background, they find it quite difficult to switch the sort of orientation, right? So if you come from that background, it might still take you like maybe 2-3 days to set it up properly, right? Okay. But once you set it up for the lifetime. You are creating a project. I mean, it's a bit serious, right? Here, is learning curve is. I mean, I get most of the time this feedback that AI is supposed to take our life easier, right? You, but here the thing is, we wanted to take AI into more extreme use case of it, where we can do this in-depth market research. We are not talking about here topics like dog training, food nutrition, what sort of these general topics, right? Protein powder, because the whole internet is full with health, wellness, or money article, like, right? But when we are talking about 3D printing, right? When we are talking about robotics, when we are talking about things which are quite in depth, also AI is not that powerful. It gives a lot of garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, so it's like you got to feed the beast, right? Basically, with good fundamental questions and what your parameters are, what those attributes are. And if you do that well, I think what I'm hearing from you, if you do that well, you will get better quality output.
Right. I also checked it on other topics like travel to Belize in Central America. If you wanted to create some travel blogs, it also works in that situation as well. It really provides you some specific ideas, inputs that you might not have thought about it. Or once you structure this content, right, it can also still give you quite in-depth research. And it's not only just around the SEO keyword. This strategy is actually not for traffic, but conversion. That's the key to understand. That most of the SEO oriented strategies to bring a lot of traffic, and then there is another mechanism which convert that traffic into paying customers, right? Here the strategy is from day one to create a solid foundation where you develop your product service based on the market, based on your Fred, and then you generalize and abstract it. Because most of the people jump into this SEO strategy, but they're carrying a leaky bucket, because when the traffic comes, there is nothing on the about us page, home page, grounding story. There's no case study, testimonial. Everything is leaking. This traffic is coming, enjoying some part, or maybe Google take over most of the knowledge part of it, shows on the rich snippets, and you can get happy about it. But I have seen this real struggle, like using SEO strategy, I could rank some of the blogs, but nothing was happening because my product was not ready, my website was not ready. So of course I just look at Google Analytics, enjoyed the traffic, but in the real sense, nothing was flowing in the bank account.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, can you talk about, I mean, I think this is a good overview. There's a lot more to dive into, but I'm interested in, you have some special programs right now. What does that mean and what does that look like?
What do you mean by
like to purchase the product?
Okay, sure. So there are different options currently. There are 2 more days at the AppSumo where this lifetime deal will end, right? So you can also go to directly on AppSumo and buy this product. I think this one.
And you also have it on your website. Doesn't matter where you go.
There's also on the website, on the pricing page, you can go.
Yeah.
The difference is exactly same deal, but we are just offering. I spend a lot of time with you guys, so you can maybe help me with purchasing it from here.
Yeah, I'll buy from here.
And then when you buy from here, I'm able to offer you some extra one-time 5,000 learning credits. So that will maybe that's the kind of appreciation of the time that we spend together here.
And is the exact same deal as on AppSumo?
It's exactly same deal as the tier 1 deal. There 10 workspace to users. And then if you wanted to stake more or buy more, you can also send me one more request here, and we can bump to second, third, fourth. It's exactly same thing, except that there are some incentives. Of course, we spend this time together, right? And hopefully you can help us out. But of course, we are going to shut it down soon because we have quite a good LTD numbers already now, and we want to move into this subscription based funnel. But you see, it's not sustainable, this kind of thing.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah. And what happens if you I learned this and I need more? How will that work, Harish?
You mean credits or?
Yes. Then do you just go to a subscription to complement that? Is that how that would work if you need more credits?
If so, this lifetime deal is a monthly reset of the credit. It's exactly like on your credit card, you have some limit, it reset monthly, it's recurring, right? Here you only pay one time for lifetime deal, but you have monthly recurring credits. And if you spend all of them, you can also buy in app. That's what we are putting inside the app. You can bump up anytime with $19.
Okay, so if I exceed my credits, then I can always for that month I buy additional credits.
Yes, you can buy additional credits if you really need it that month.
And if I need some help in terms of I'm working with a startup, do you offer some services to just spend half hour, 40 minutes on the phone to set things up? Is that something that you offer?
We have Slack channel, so you can join Slack channel. You can put your questions directly, and of course, if this is kind of a group thing, then we can do in a group. Or if it go beyond my bandwidth, then we can discuss it separately, right?
Okay, that sounds good. No, I think this for me has been good. I'll go ahead and go to your website today and make the purchase.
Also, we have quite vibrant group here.
Okay.
On the Facebook, we keep sharing new updates. People also contributing to the vision of the tool. So you're most welcome to join there, contribute your ideas, feature request.
One thing I mean, I do need to drop off in a minute. I have a few things to do. Wouldn't it be great if you could, based on what you have, the information you get to a point, automatically build like a PowerPoint or something like a persona right there?
There's something also we are already doing. Like I just
Yeah.
added today template where you want to create a small buyer persona like quickly for your team.
Yeah.
So then this easily can answer these questions. Each of the question that you answer can be a PowerPoint slide, right? But
Yeah.
of course, at this stage, you cannot export them into a PowerPoint slide, but we can do that as well.
Yeah, no, those are, I mean, it's a really, I to be honest, I haven't looked at any other competitor tools, but what you're describing will definitely meet my need. I'm just not sure, the learning curve that's required, right? And it's all about time, how much time I can allocate. I don't know how you feel, Tony.
Yeah, definitely. Any tool. Yeah, this is not the first AI tool that I've purchased, and definitely, in order to extract the best out of the tool, you need to spend a lot of time with it, and then you start to learn sort of the ways that you could use it to your advantage. So, yeah, it's a time thing.
Yeah, each tool I think is different with a different scope. They look from outside same, maybe they're using same language models, or but the use case and the depth is different for different tools. This is completely on a buyer persona based. Other tools are based on SEO strategy, right? So for high level blogs, right, it works that your learning curve is quite small and you are ready to spin off some content. But when you're really deep diving into another approach, I mean, even if you set up a website project and your agency and 10 clients, like how much time you waste in the to and fro of the information, and still
Agreed.
the client is not happy with that website.
Yeah.
Now, if you can cut short the time with this approach and set up some milestones and agree with the client that I wanted this information to make your website highly converting. I'm sure it's a kind of a consulting approach. You being a consultant, you have worked in this, how the consultant start from ground zero, from scratch. They start collecting requirement, build on that requirement. This is also a $79 consultant for $10,000 if you see in that way.
Yeah, no, I think you have the right approach here. I mean, you start with a solid foundation, and then you can feed the AI engine, right, NLP, with the right data. And if you feed good quality data, your output will reflect that, right? So,
yeah.
I know one of my colleagues, she had shared some, we can generate very quick headlines, right? It all depends what you're looking to do. So I'm looking forward to trialing the tool. So thank you.
Yeah, you can also delegate this work to more people at junior level, and being a strategist, you can then evaluate the outcome, whether you are in right direction. Otherwise, you have to also collect this information yourself or verify each information.
No, very true.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Many thanks, and thanks on this spending time on this call. And I'll share this with you.
I've just got one more question. Sorry.
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah. When creating content, so you've done the deep dive avatar, the thread.
Yeah.
And I've got all that data in there inside of the workspace. When you go and create the content, so like you pick a blog outline example, and then when you go Athena, write these different sections, is it then looking at that workspace and writing it according to that niche, that thread persona?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. You see how to use AI copywriting, or when I say single big problem, or if I say main call to action, this exactly refer back to what research that we have done by a person.
Yeah,
that's how it is connected together. This is a different one, different workspace. I switched to Belly's because it's not reflected here, but I switched in the background. So that's why it's giving me different thing, but it's reflecting on the buyer persona that we are working on it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you so much for your time again. And I look forward for your journey with CrawlQ and your inputs to improve it. Definitely.
Appreciate
will
it.
help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks very
Bye-bye.
much.
Take
All the best.
care.
All the best, Tony. All the best, Harish.
You too. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.